My name is Lori Carey, and I am the founder and executive director for We Connect the Dots. We're with you tonight to share with you the information about our Code-A-Thon and its transition this year to all digital. So welcome. And again, those of you who are just joining, we will be opening up for questions. We've got everybody muted for now just to keep the background noise down because we are recording this call. So our goals for this call is going to outline the Code-A-Thon code of conduct and the student overall experience, what to expect. We'll talk about the teams and how to collaborate and what we expect from you, cameras, our zero tolerance policy for behavior, our training sessions, our assessments, program schedule. We'll review that just quickly. We'll talk about prizes and sponsors, and of course next steps and how to get ready for the program. And we will be opening up for questions. So, online code of conduct, this is something that we take very seriously. This is an important program. This is our 6th year doing this program, and this is our 1st year of transforming it entirely digital. In the past, this Code-A-Thon has been online and in person, and so the students were required to collaborate across teams at different locations, so they did that via an online experience, but this year it will be 100% online, so our expectations, our students are going to be respectful of each other and the teams. You'll have one mentor for each team, so each team is 4 students. They will be blended teams. We use an algorithm to make our teams, so you don't get to pick your teams. It's intentional. We want you to learn how to work with other people from different backgrounds, different mindsets. That's an important part of the workforce skills that you'll be learning as part of this program. When you get a job, you'll be working with people of different ages than you, different backgrounds than you, different genders than you, and so we'll be blending those teams. Our goal is always to have 2 girls, 2 guys on each team with 1 mentor. And the mentors will be adults in the industry, they'll be college students and different volunteer people that have supported our organization. So again, you'll be working in a team of 4. And you'll be expected to be on camera, to be working with your teammates, to be appropriate and engaging, to be hands-on involved in the project that you're working on together, and be respectful of each other's opinions, and be a part of a collaborative effort to solve a global problem. So you'll be, again, collaborating with your teammates, and other volunteers will be coming into your sessions with you. Communication is so important in this piece because of the fact that you're going to be working online together. And in the workforce today, in these kind of software engineer, developer type roles, you would be working remotely, and learning to do that and learning how to work with a team and how to communicate in a digital way is really important today. COVID has just really escalated the need for that and showed us that these are important skills for students to gain. So we've been doing this again for 8 years and teaching students how to collaborate online and in our programs. And this year we did a program in the summer where we transitioned our summer program, a 10-day program similar to the Code-A-Thon, to entirely digital, and it went really, really well. And we found that the experience was very positive for students. They really had a good time and enjoyed it, and they learned a lot of value comes out of this transition to digital. So we expect, again, you to be attentive, to be there, to be there for your team members, to be involved, engaged. And that's going to be really important for your success together as a team. There will be some prizes that we're going to be doing. If you guys are familiar with FIRST Robotics, you've probably experienced this, where there's different prizes for different types of experiences. The teams are working well together. There'll be a team prize for the team that did the best collaborative experience together and really brought value to the team members. So you don't have to be the team member that won the big prize for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. And as far as the judging goes, you might also be a team that wins both. You could potentially win one of those prizes and a team prize for your collaboration efforts. So you'll be having folks coming in and assessing some of our CAP students, our community ambassador students who are on this call tonight, who have put this program together for you and are working really hard all year long to make sure that this program is designed to support your success and support your learning experience. They'll be coming in and out of your team environments and your channels, working with you and assessing how well you're working together and supporting your success. Okay, cameras, again, we'll be asking that you're having the cameras on whenever possible. Okay, we understand some situations you won't have the cameras on, but in general, seeing people's faces and their emotions is important, and it's an important part of the communications. And again, we're going to be rewarding for those showing that really how they're engaging well together. You can use the great resources and tools around the backgrounds provided with Microsoft Teams. So you can change your background so you don't see your room or wherever you are in your learning experience. So we'll share a video of how to get into Teams, how to use Teams, and how to change your backgrounds. So that's coming to you. Clothing, obviously, we want you guys to be in this environment dressed and prepared to work together. No PJs, you'll be on video, so pajamas are not an option here. So want you guys to be comfortable, but obviously be respectful of your teammates and be appropriate, okay? Zero tolerance policy, inappropriate language, you will be asked to leave. A lack of respect for your teammates, you'll be asked to be exited. And of course, absolutely, without a doubt, no bullying or cyberbullying to anybody in the program. And our sessions are recorded, so you are being monitored all times throughout this program. And our expectations are that you're going to value and respect others in this program and follow those guidelines, okay? And you do sign a code of conduct as part of the registration that you're agreeing to be appropriate in your behavior. Okay? And again, we've never had any problems with this. We just have to say it. So just setting expectations, we've never had any issues for the parents listening, but we always are very forthcoming about our tolerance for things that we will and will not stand for. So schedule, this is a quick, and I know it's a little bit of an eye chart here, but it is a quick schedule of what the weekend's going to look like. This is the weekend schedule. There'll be things happening during the full month of January, but starting on the 25th is when you'll get to know your team members, and you'll get to do some activities, some fun activities to kind of bond with your teams and get to know each other. And then that's kind of like a slow progression that'll happen between the first week or the last week of January, and as we lead into the program starting on Friday night on January 29th, we'll be doing a kickoff. Everybody will be in teams together across the country, and we'll do the kickoff with it. We'll talk about the projects. We'll break for dinner. And then we will have some GitHub conversations and getting you guys to know what GitHub is and how to use it. We'll have some games mixed in here. We want to break up a little bit of the monotony of the learning experience with some fun games and prizes. Prizes are always fun. So we'll be doing some bingo with our goal with the bingo is to reinforce some of the context and concepts that you're learning through coding in a fun way. Everything we do is based on neuroscience, and as far as our learning, it's small chunks of learning knowledge and then reinforcing that knowledge with some hands-on experiences and with some fun gamification. You'll do some team building activities where you're going to do some brainstorming on your conceptual business idea and what you want to do, because Friday night we want to kind of solidify those ideas and concepts, and then Saturday morning that you're kind of hitting the ground running and you're building out your projects. So you're working on your projects really Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, all through the day and evening. And again, how late you guys stay up will be totally up to the team members and how committed they are. But we always warn teams that you do have to present on Sunday, so you want to make sure you do get some sleep. Okay, because if you can't, sleep is important. You're not going to be able to really represent your team well if you didn't get a good night's sleep on Saturday night, so that you're ready to present on your projects to the judges. Okay, so sleep again is important. So balancing it is what this is. This is a lesson in time management and balancing your commitments and what you have to do, and working together to make sure that you're really delegating out tasks to each other and you're holding each other accountable. We're going to show you some tools of how you can do that through Microsoft Office platform using Planner and using Teams to do that. So you'll learn how to do that. We'll have some fun movie night that the CAP students have put together some really amazing activities to do with you to kind of help you, kind of blend as a team and get to know each other and just have some fun in between coding. Again, we'll have office hours during the day on Saturday and Sunday, so that if you have, after the training is going to take place in early January, starting the 4th and moving on through the last week of January. And if you have questions, your team's working on a piece of code and you're feeling stuck and you need some help, there's going to be office hours where you'll be able to actually jump into a Teams channel, and the channels will be set up based on your level of competing and the skills that you need. So you'll be able to go in and ask industry people for help. You'll have your mentor there to help support you as well. You'll have lots of resources to help you overcome any issues that you're experiencing, whatever technical issues they may be. Our goal is to make sure that you guys have a good experience and that you can learn as part of this process. We will be introducing Tinkercad and 3D Paint this year to do some conceptual 3D modeling for a product as part of your projects, and we'll talk more about that in a bit. Again, more fun activities through our Unlock the Box platform. And again, lots of office hours. We'll break again for dinner. We might have some, based on some prizes, we've got some Uber Eats gift certificates that we'll be giving away so that you can, all have bragging rights and get food ordered in for your team as a kind of a recognition. Again, we'll have movie nights, both Friday night and Saturday nights. And then on the both Saturday morning and Sunday morning, we're going to be having Maestro come back. He is somebody who's been with us for a few years now. He is a personal trainer, and he'll be online with you guys. We'll have, again, the published schedule, but we anticipate about 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and Sunday. If you guys want to do a little bit of exercise with him and get ready for the day, it's important to balance the exercising and the coding, getting away from your computers for a bit and kind of stretching. And he'll talk a lot about that in his sessions. And again, he is a professional trainer, and he's been a part of our a volunteer for us for a number of years now. And when we normally do this in person, he would come in and do that, and then we would live stream it on Facebook. So it's been fun. So we're looking forward to having Maestro back again and having you guys participate in that stretching with him. Again, and then we'll have breaks for lunch and snacks and that for you guys to take some time away. And then you're going to be managing your time with your teams. So that's going to be important for your teams to know when you're breaking for lunch and when you're coming back in to work on your projects, and you're coordinating that with your team members. Okay. We'll make announcements too to remind teams to stop, because sometimes you get really immersed in this and you're not kind of getting away from the coding for a bit. So we'll remind everybody that it is a lunch break or breakfast and so on. Again, we have a lot of team building activities. Team assignments will be announced during the mandatory team building sessions, so you'll know that. And again, these are really important for you to attend with your team, so that you get to know your team members. And so that when the research shows that if teams are bonded and they know each other on a personal basis, you can remove unconscious bias and also really just create amazing products as a result of that bonding and that building, team building together. And we've seen it in our programs in the past and how important this component is. And it is, you'll create bonds for potentially a lifetime of people that you'll meet here, that you'll continue to maybe do development work post the program. That's what we hope for. So the first one will take place on Monday, the 25th from 7 to 8:30. The second one will take place on Wednesday night. And then each team will consist of 4 members and a mentor, as we mentioned. These fun competitive gamifications will happen with some prizes associated to them. We'll announce those prizes, each of the activities, and how you'll compete for them. And again, it's vital for your students, for you as students and parents listening, that you get involved in these activities and demonstrate team abilities with successful problem solving and working together and creating these new relationships. Okay, this is a little bit of the schedule for the training. So depending on what level you're competing on, and I want to stress this, that you can compete at any level you want to, but you have to pass an assessment to do that. So for example, if you want to compete at level 2, you've got to demonstrate that you have the capacity to do that, and it's as well as level 3. We do have, you should have received a link for those assessments, and we do apologize. There was an issue that one of the parents brought to our attention, thank you, regarding the assessments. So we are asking everybody to retake them. If you took it once and there was no name and email address in there when you took the assessment, please go back and take the assessment again. We've modified the assessment to include the names and email addresses so we can see who is in what levels. If you're going to compete in level 1, you have no coding experience, don't worry about it. You don't need to be assessed. There's no assessment for you. The assumption is you're coming in for the first time, or you're coming in with not a lot of skills and maybe you want to kind of get a refresher and you feel like level 1 is where you want to be. You can take the training for level 2 and level 3 if you choose to. Right, but you have to decide where you're going to compete, and where you're going to compete is based on the level assessment that you take. Okay, and it's important that you compete at a level that you're with your team members, so that if you're just doing HTML and CSS and a little bit of JavaScript, you're going to be competing at level 1. If you want to do HTML, CSS, and more depth JavaScript, then you'll be at level 2. And if you want to go full-blown React application, and this is hardcore coding, and you've got the background for it, and you're ready for that challenge, you can certainly compete for level 3, but you do have to take the assessment. And the reason why we're asking students to take the assessment is because it wouldn't be fair to your teammates if you weren't up to that capability and you couldn't contribute the way you need to contribute in the team for that. Okay, so again, it's really important that you are competing at the level of your skill sets. Every training session is at the same time, like, each week. So the first week, and we did this to do some scaffolding here, so that if you wanted to just to get a refresher on level 1, you could, and then take level 2, and then so on. So again, but you will compete based on the assessment level. And you can come back to us if you, for example, take your assessment. I think we asked everybody to take the assessments before the training starts. So if you want to compete at a higher level, just reach out to us and let us know. And if you take the training, we can retest you if you want to be tested to go into a higher level competition. Totally okay with that. We don't want to hold anybody back. We just want to make sure that you're up to speed and that you're not holding your team back. Okay, that's really what it's about. Not holding you back, but holding your team back. So it does, again, the level 1 doesn't require any coding skills. You're going to come into this with a fresh slate, and we know that, and that's what that training is about. It's Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. It's 2 hours each session, and there will be like projects that you're going to be asked to do, or activities that you'll be asked to do that are small individual projects that you'll be doing. This is all independent learning. You're not going to be learning with your teams. You're going to be working on your projects with your teams. You can certainly collaborate with others, and part of this learning, if you have friends that you want to collaborate on and do some stuff with, you're welcome to do that. But you'll be meeting your teams the last week of January and then competing with those team members. But it's important that you, it is required that you attend the training level based on the level that you're competing in. Okay, you don't want to miss them. We are recording them, so if somebody does have a conflict, it's okay, but we are encouraging you to take every training session possible so that you're up to speed on this, or at least watching the videos afterwards. It's your opportunity to ask the instructor questions too. Having a live training session with a live instructor is so much better than a recorded session. But we are there to support you. We do have office hours for, again, during the program to support your success. Okay, and again, I'm going to open up for questions in a bit. Okay, so a little bit about our projects. Students are going to work in teams to build a conceptual business that supports the UN Sustainable Development Goals. You can go out and look and do a search on UN Sustainable Development Goals to get an idea of what they are. For those students who are returning, you're probably very familiar with them. Our goal is to create, we want to mold and shape the future workers, the future innovators and future entrepreneurs out there solving real global issues. Now, your business, conceptual business, could be for-profit, could be not-for-profit, could be a blend of both. We've seen it all in the last 6 years of students, and it's amazing what problems students want to solve. And this should be a collaborative effort. You'll work with your teams to decide as a team, and your mentor will help support that effort, that you'll decide as a group what your project should be. And we're going to make sure, so parents, your students are working on teams together, that your mentor's job is going to be to make sure that everybody on the team has a voice, everybody has an opinion. We do know that when one person on the team is kind of driving more vocally about what the project should be about, and the rest of the team is not kind of on board, it doesn't create a successful outcome. So we want to make sure that everybody has a voice, and that the mentors will focus on making sure that happens, so that everybody gets a say in what the project should be about, and it's all creative thinking by the whole team. Okay, and it is about building modern workforce skills, while preparing you guys to be these social entrepreneurs to really solving key problems globally. And the bigger the problem you solve, obviously the bigger the score you'll get on your rubric. So the rubrics is there for you. You'll have access to the rubric. It'll outline what the point scoring is and how do you earn points as far as your team goes. It's very detailed, and we'll give you a quick snapshot of it here. You'll have access to that in the team's environment when you are competing and building out your projects. Again, you'll have to decide what the project is, or what your theme is, what the problem is you're going to solve, and how it aligns to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Your user experience and functionality will be important. Your project website should include a homepage, a blog, social media links, and contact pages. This is all done with raw code. Okay, it's not done with a template. It's not done with a package like Squarespace or any of the other ones that are out there. This is a coded website. Okay, you'll have to explain your technology and what problem you're solving, and how the business requirements for that, and what the opportunities are from a business perspective. What and how you'll integrate your 3D model or prototype for your business, whether it's either in the actual product that you're designing, or if it's just in the logo for your business. But you will be doing a 3D model and learning Tinkercad and learning how to do those design models. We're going to be looking for originality and impact. The bigger, more original it is, The higher the scores the judges will give, the greater the impact it'll create, the higher the scores you'll get. Technical difficulty will be there. The judges will be looking at that, and they have some flexibility in how they score that. And then, of course, your collaboration with students. You'll be asked to collaborate with another team or other teams, and you'll need to share with the judges how you did that. That collaboration could take place where you're going to reach out to another team and say, hey, we want to show you our project. Here's what we're thinking of. Here's what we're working on. And then you'll share ideas. That they might give you feedback on what you might do differently for your project. It's all about this collaborative entrepreneur experience. And then, of course, your presentations themselves will be scored and how well you're engaging everybody on the team to be a part of that presentation or collaborating together and making sure that presentation is smooth and delivered well. This is, again, an eye chart. This is the scoring and how this is. You'll have access to this. I'm just kind of showing it up on the screen here. This is what the judges will be using to score the teams. Again, if you're a returning student, you'll know this. This will be familiar to you. If you're new to this program, you'll have access to this rubric within the team's environment, so you'll know exactly what each of the score is. We're going to review this as part of the project delivery and as part of the sessions on Friday, so you'll know all about this and be able to ask lots of questions around it. And your mentor will be very up to speed on this too, so they'll be able to help you understand where the scoring is going to be and how you do that. So then we want to talk a little bit about some examples of what you might do for your project. We'll cover this again during the Code-A-Thon. This is more for everybody's awareness and parents' awareness. These are we're going to show a couple slides of some example projects that you might consider. And these are real world projects. These are not projects from students in the past. You can go out to our website and see the projects that our students have done in the past. You can go out to Facebook and see lots of videos of projects that our students have done in the past. So there's lots out there for you to go explore. We just like to show some real world projects you might consider and how you are really looking at changing the world in a positive way, and how these ideas might be thought about and how you might tackle them. So this first one is Lifestraw. This is a real product out there that this group created, and it allows you to use this straw to drink water from areas that might not be clean water, and how to use this for a filtration device. And it is an interesting product. So you might come up with some conceptual product that your team wants to do, and then you represent that product in a website. Okay, and it could again be a not-for-profit, for-profit, or a blended model. We encourage both. Habitat for Humanity, I'm sure you all have know this organization. This is a great example of an organization who's providing impact globally for families through building homes and facilities. Then Feeding America is another great organization. And again, we're just kind of showing you some snippets of their websites and talking about some concepts that you might come up with. We had a group of students one year do a blended experience with food and delivering food and using drones in a really creative way. So there's lots of ways to think about technology and think about your 3D prototype and how you might use that for today's pandemic or any other situation out there. And Project Hope is about diabetes. This is another great example of creating an impact and solving an issue out there that's a health issue. Okay. Again, how will you change the world? Based on these examples, what your team might brainstorm ideas on and come up with concepts. What issue will your company or organization address? What's your proposed solution, and how will that be represented on your website? And what sorts of other technology tools can you provide your audiences? And again, is it a product? And how are you using that 3D modeling as part of that? And how will your concept be sustainable? That's something the judges will be asking you. So again, we like to encourage creativity and these conceptual ideas to create something, because who knows, it might become reality. We've seen some amazing projects that are very, very viable to become real solutions. And so we want to encourage that type of creativity. And so but you will be asked about, sustainability of financials. You might want to, your team's going to be working on research together. You're going to have to put that research on your website. You're going to need to explain what your product is and how it's going to be sustainable and how you're going to raise funds for it, or how you're going to make funds from it. What will it be sold for? And is that a viable solution? And how you're going to produce that product. So these are all part of components that you'll have to speak to and demonstrate on your website. Okay, what will students gain from this experience? You'll learn how to work on a diverse team. That's first and foremost the most important aspect of this program. You're going to learn real-world workforce skills that you'll be able to apply in your future. You'll be able to speak to this in your college application and being able to share with others the work that you're doing. And so you'll be able to have a great portfolio to share, and whether it's a college app or applying for a job, whatever it might be. You want to share that. These websites will be accessible out on the internet, so you can share that with your GitHub link. You're going to learn how to use GitHub if you're really passionate about coding and you want to go on to be a software engineer. This will help you get into college by showing people that you did this project, by showing your GitHub and the work that you're doing out on GitHub. Today's colleges are looking at your LinkedIn profile. They're looking at your GitHub work and what you're doing out there and how you're representing yourself. And so these are great ways to build that portfolio and to differentiate yourself with college applications or to get a job. So you're going to get creative and innovations and problem solving together. It's going to be a blast, and you will be solving real world issues, and you're going to make new friends. So those are the outcomes from this program. And you first and foremost will learn how to code. You will walk away with knowing how to code. How to code a website, whether it's in level 1 HTML and CSS, or level 2 with advanced JavaScript, or level 3 building out a full React application. And just for those who are going for level 3, you can get a part-time job doing this work and pay for your college very easily. I know students who've done that and who are out there in the workforce today making really good money and using those talents and skills to put themselves through college. Okay. All right, prizes. That's another best part of the program. So first place is a movie projector, and these prizes were all selected by our CAP team, and I think they're really amazing. Second place is an Amazon Echo Show, and third place is the Rocketbook. So 4 members on the team, all 4 members of the first place in each level will win these prizes. So level 1, level 2, and level 3. So there'll be 12 teams that will be winning these prizes. Okay, so there'll be, again, 4 students will get, in each level will get the movie projector, 4 students in each of the level, second place will get the Echo Show, and again, 4 students in each of the levels will receive the third place Rocketbook. There are other prizes for involvement, for collaboration, for team building activities, and then also you'll be having a swag bag that we're coordinating that you'll get with some interesting pieces. I'm not sure if we have a slide for that. No, we don't. But you'll get a, I'll address that when we unmute, because I'll let my CAP students share with you guys what the swag bags are going to have in them. Okay, and that everybody gets the swag bag that registers and participates in the program. Okay, action items. You'll take the assessment, complete that based on your level. Watch your inbox, please. Make sure you're paying attention to your communications. There'll be setup instructions. There'll be software downloads and things that you need to do ahead of time. If you do all those things ahead of time, you'll have a much better experience. You won't be frustrated the first night of the training session. You'll have all that stuff out of the way. You'll know how to use the team's environment and how to work in this collaborative space. We want you to log in prior to the training sessions. If you have any issues, you're going to email cap@wctd.org, and one of our CAP students will be there to help support you and connect with you to make sure you're good to go. Okay, checklist for joining in the training sessions during the program. And during the program, you're going to need your personal computer with a webcam. You're going to need Windows 7 or higher, or Mac OS Sierra 10, 13 or above. iPads and tablets are not recommended. A quiet place where you can learn, a stable internet connection, wired if possible. You know, if you do have a wired internet in your house, you want to be wired. If you can't, you're wireless. You know, just make sure you've got a good connection to that wireless hub. Okay, and then of course students must have a microphone, and headsets are optional depending on your computer and what you're using, but you do need to have a good microphone so your peers can hear you. Okay, nothing worse than, and test it to make sure it's working and it's not giving feedback and garbly. There's nothing worse than not being able to communicate with your peers in this competition, because it won't be fun for you and it won't be fun for your teammates. So let's make sure we address those things. A mouse is optional. Some people like a mouse. I don't use it. I have a great touchpad, but if you want a mouse, you know, and you prefer it, that's totally up to you. Sometimes with coding, the mouse can be really helpful. Again, it's always a preference for the students. Join 15 minutes prior to the sessions begin. Don't be coming in last minute so you're missing out and you're disrupting the instructors. Make sure you're prepared and ready to learn, and that you're being respectful of the instructors. You're asking the good questions, and you're engaging with your team members in your collaborative space together. You're joining in on the office hours when you need questions and you need help, and that you're learning to problem solve and solve. And remember, one thing that's key about this program: we will never give you the answer when you ask us a question. I'm just going to make very clear and transparent on that one. We will always ask you questions. You will leave, when you ask a question, we will leave you with more questions. And that's intentional because we need to teach you how to problem solve and how to learn on your own. And if we just give you the answers every time, you won't build that mental muscle. You won't build the capacity. So our mentors are trained on mentoring you in a way where you're going to learn how to figure things out on your own. We won't leave you hanging or struggling. We'll make sure that you get the answers you need, but we may do it in a way where coaching you and helping you figure these out on your own so that next time you have that problem, you'll know how to go and attack that issue and go find the right answer and where to find the information from. And our instructors will do the same. Okay, when they're teaching you, they're going to use the same type of coaching style and answering your questions or asking you questions with your questions. Okay, and again, our goal is to make you guys really great independent learners, lifelong learners, and understanding how to use the internet in a powerful way to learn how to code and to use the internet as a way to problem solve and address major, social issues. Okay. Thanking our sponsors who have supported this program, Microsoft, Nebula Academy, AAUW, and of course, Jovia Financial. And I'm going to open it now to questions and kind of open up the chat here for everybody, and you can feel free to unmute yourself with questions. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay, you guys should be allowed to unmute. So if you have questions, we'll let them roll. And if you're afraid to ask a question, you just want to put something in the chat, you can. I'll bring up the chat sessions. Oh, somebody's speaking. You're on mute. Did you want to ask something, Max? Nope. Okay. Anybody have any questions? No? Lewis.
What's the name of the Facebook group that has the chat?
I'm getting a little bit of feedback. What was the question again? Something about the link for Facebook.
What's the name of the Facebook group that has the chat? I mean, I'm sorry, what's the name of the Facebook group that has the project?
Oh, it's We Connect the Dots' Facebook page. So if you search for We Connect the Dots, you'll see all kinds of videos out there of prior projects, and I can go there real quick. Let's see here. Facebook real quick, and let's bring up. So the Facebook page, and again, you could just search We Connect the Dots. Appreciate if you like our page. If you go to the page and you go to videos, you'll see all the prior year's videos out here. There's lots of them, so there you'll see them. And we will be streaming this on our Teams Live during the program, so parents will be able to watch the presentations. You'll get that link, and all that detail will be sent to the parents. But here, if you go down and scroll down, you'll see some of the summer programs and the Code-A-Thon 2020 kickoff. You'll see prior years projects out here. You'll see a lot of videos, but you'll see some of them. Team here's 2019 and the team projects that were out there, so you can see them again. And there's teams from all over the different locations. You'll see Ohio in here, Pennsylvania, New York. All the different locations where we've done it in the past. So lots and lots of videos out there to help you kind of get a sense of what the students will be doing. Hopefully that answers your question.
It does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?